Hey, welcome back to day 4 of Cybersecurity Month. Today we're talking about multi-factor authentication. So, we've heard about 2FA and MFA for a long time. Going back as far as 2019, Microsoft was one of the first to come out and say that, by implementing something like two-factor or multi-factor authentication, you're able to block more than 95% of attacks against accounts. And that hasn't changed very much. While we are seeing a lot more attacks that try to work around two-factor authentication, it's still one of the single best things you can implement from a security standpoint. So, what is it? Traditionally, when we think about logging into a system, we think about having a username and password. So, that's two things we kind of have to know to get into a computer. Um, Multi-factor authentication adds either a third or sometimes even a fourth component to that. And most common are things like one-time passwords. So in addition to a username and a password, you have a one-time password generated from a token. And you type that in as well. They're good for, maybe 30 seconds or so. And the combination of your username, your password, and the one-time password now let you in. The reason this is effective is that one-time password is typically generated by a token, either that you have as a piece of software on your phone, or as a little physical token that you might have to push a button on that gives you a code on the screen. And because you have to have that thing with you, if somebody tries to log into your account remotely from somewhere that you aren't, or somebody is able to get a password that you were using via a password dump, like we talked about in some of our older videos, they still need that one time password that changes every 30 seconds that only you generally have access to. Um, Beyond those, there's other means of multi-factor authentication. When you go to some data centers, they use things like iris scanners or palm scanners, where you have to stick your hand on a little thing and it measures the biometrics. There's fingerprint scanners. The military has used cap cards, for years as a method of something you have security. Companies like Ubico are releasing UB keys pretty regularly now. This one is kind of neat. It's USB-C and it uses NFC from my phone. So I plug this into my computer and I scan it with my phone to start getting access to things. So there's all kinds of ways to add these extra factors. Some websites are as simple as sending you a text message with a pre-registered cell phone on your account. So whatever the method you choose to use, pick one. If you have the option. If you're using Microsoft, they have a Microsoft Authenticator app for a lot of their personal stuff now. I mean, websites even like Reddit will allow you to use 2FA. So that's kind of today's tip. Make sure that if you have the ability to enable 2FA or MFA on your accounts, you do so. If you're a business, you should absolutely be doing this. It's one of the best bang for your buck kind of implementations you can do from a security perspective. But yeah, happy Cybersecurity Month. Keep following along and we'll keep dishing out some tips. Have a great one, everyone.